Well, hello there. Good afternoon to you all. So, this will be another video for my segment of the greatest anime series of all times, my top 20. And today I will be making two videos. First this and later another one. And this first series that I want to talk, I will be talking on general about it. And it was also one series that kinda marked my youth and even my adolescence. Because when this aired, well, I was a little kid and I watched the first part of this series in the late 80s, beginning of the 90s. And then I do watch the second season that aired in Portugal. In least they aired it at the end of the 90s. Well, probably you already guessed about what series I'm talking, but nonetheless, I'm talking about Dragon Ball, or Dragon Ball in Japanese. And basically, this series is based in a manga that is written and illustrated by Akira Toriyama. And initially, it was originally serialized in the weekly Shonen Jump from 1994 to 1995. Uh, and basically, the series is completed, obviously, and in the end, the series has 42 volumes or books. And also, there was a anime series called Dragon Ball, obviously, and that was the series that I was talking at the start of this video, called Dragon Ball, obviously, made by Toei Animation Studios. And the original run of the series that has 153 episodes was from 26th of February of 1986 to 12th of April of 1989. And then they have a sequel called Dragon Ball Z, that again was produced by Toei Animation Studios and aired from 26th of April of 1989 to 31 of January of 1996 and has 291 episodes. And then the greatest fiasco that they ever did on this series, called Dragon Ball GT, that aired from 7th of February of 1996 until 19th of November of 1997 with 64 episodes. And then they, to commemorate the date, 2 years ago they released Dragon Ball K. Is kind of a remastered version of Dragon Ball Z, and again done by Toei Animation Studios, and it has 98 episodes and ran from 5th of April of 29 to 27 of March of 2011. So basically, this is the situation, and I guess all probably you that are from my generation or even more younger than me, uh, who you know this series. Basically, this follows the adventures of Goku or Son Goku since he was a little kid until he dies. Well, he dies a lot of times during the series, but in some way he's kind of revived with the Dragon Balls and such. But I will not spoil him, even if I don't believe that actually there could be someone out there that never heard about Dragon Ball. Nonetheless, And basically, this follows the first season. Dragon Ball follows Goku when he was a little kid, and he meets during that series a lot of characters that will keep going until the end of the series. He meets Bulma, he meets his master Roshi, he meets Krillin, he meets Yamcha, he meets Piccolo, he meets um, Tenchinan, Chaos, a guy with that is a pig. I don't remember his name. Um, and these are their adventures, trying to gathering the Dragon Balls, and they also are facing several villains. They face a guy that wants to conquer the world. They face the Red Ribbon Army, and that is one of the best arcs of the first Dragon Ball, the battle against the Red Ribbon Army. Um, then they face the father of Piccolo, um, that is also called Piccolo, but nonetheless. Um, and they during that time, Son Goku also meets a young girl called Kika that later on will become his wife. Uh, well, I don't know if then we have during the time during the first season we have several tournament arcs because there in this world there is from time to time they made a great martial tournament arc and where the best warriors of the planet meet each other, fight each other to the title of champion. So the series was funny as action. In some situations he kinda has a great slow down pace, but when the pace picks up is good. Then in Dragon Ball Z we have the appearance of other enemies, and we found the origins of Goku, and basically Goku comes from a race of space people that are fantastic warriors, and basically he was when their planet was destroyed by Freezer, that appears as one of the antagonists in Dragon Ball Z. Um, um, Goku and a couple of others as kids were saved, but the great part of the race is annihilated in that battle. And Goku ended up coming to Earth, being raised by an old man that lived in the mountains, and so on and so forth. Then in Dragon Ball Z, we meet one of the brothers of Son Goku. It's one of the first antagonists, if I'm not wrong, called Raditz, and the guy is a fucking bastard, basically. Then we also have two other space wa- space warriors that came to Earth following Raditz, that are Vegeta and Nappa. Nappa eventually gets killed, but Vegeta will become a member of the cast of Dragon Ball, and eventually later on he will also marry Bulma. Then they have a battle against Freezer. They have a battle against the androids. They have a battle against Cell. They have a battle against Boo. Um, and obviously during all this time Goku dies several times. In the meantime he does have two kids. The elder is called Gohan or Son Gohan, and the younger is Goten. And also Vegeta and Bulma do have a kid called Trunks, and Trunks is at the same age of Goten, so they kinda become very close friends and such. In between that, Gohan goes meet a girl called Videl, I guess, and eventually he will marry her. Um, Then we have adventures in space, we have adventures in Earth. Uh, yeah, that's it. Well, it's a even if, like I say, sometimes the pace of the series, the pace of the episodes. I'm not talking about Kai because Kai has a remastered version. The goal was to cut in these slow moments. But the original Dragon Ball Z series, those have a lot of episodes that are not so important or are simply, I will not say filler, but like a filler. Um, and well, that's it. And then they eventually Toei kind of decided to make Dragon Ball GT, and that was one of the greatest errors they did, because if the series is not made, it's not based on the manga of the author. It was kinda original animation that was done to be a sequel of Dragon Ball Z. Obviously, the creator of Dragon Ball, Akira, did take some part in the development of that series because he draws some characters, he draws some equipment, etc. But GT is not canon to the story or the plot of Dragon Ball. So, well, that was, in my opinion, a fiasco, and I honestly must confess that was pretty painful to watch this series. Then we have films, movies that were interesting, and basically, in a nutshell, this is it. So I do watch this series. I liked a lot this series. This is one of the series that mark my younger days and my adolescent uh, years. At that time, I remember that I actually did skip some classes to watch Dragon Ball in the coffee that was near my school. Uh, because sometimes I was able to record the episodes in tape recorder, sometimes I did not, or I forgot to put them in record mode, and so sometimes I did skip some classes to go especially to the coffee and to watch Dragon Ball episodes. And I was not alone. I must confess, I was not alone, and there are a lot of people that did something similar to me. So it was a great hit. It was a great success, and I still it's still today considered by several authors as one of the great series that ever existed. So that's it. Dragon Ball gets the seventh place on my top 20 greatest anime series list. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay well. Peace. See you soon.